Mr. Police Chief, how would you plan on ensuring that people under the age of 21 do not have access to cannabis and do not misuse it?
We will do everything in our power to stop kids getting their hands on marijuana, but also focus on education and making sure kids know the risk that marijuana use poses to their cognitive system.
Community Development Director. According to an article written by the LA Times, Beverly Hills banned cannabis stores while limiting deliveries only to medical marijuana provided patients. If we as a city adopted the same policy, how do you believe that we could ensure that the marijuana is being delivered only to people who have medical conditions?
We would add further regulations along with the ordinances that currently exist in order to make sure that we are making it the safest environment for our citizens.
I have a question for the city attorney. To what extent can we restrict cannabis legally without depriving citizens of constitutional rights of freedom?
These ordinances would only prohibit the delivery and sale of cannabis within the city borders. It would not prohibit the ingestion or possession of cannabis in persons older than 21, so it would be in compliance with state law. That's it.
Mr. Finance Director, how would the sale of marijuana affect small businesses downtown?
That's a good question.
The small business industry is thriving downtown. With dispensaries taking up space, it may distract people from the small business thrive we have been experiencing. It would not help.
I have a question for the city manager. Do we have reason to believe that the legalized sale or consumption of marijuana in Manhattan would adversely affect community interaction or involvement?
Yes, because can you repeat the beginning of your question?
Do we have reason to believe that legalized sale or consumption of marijuana in Manhattan Beach would adversely affect community interaction or involvement?
Yes, because it will affect where people will want to hang out and socialize, and it will also affect the air we're breathing, so people may want to stay inside in their homes versus going out in the public and being downtown. Thank you.
Having completed public input and with no further discussion by the council, I would like to call for a motion to prohibit all commercial cannabis activity in the city as recommended by staff.
Press the button.
We're stopping the sale. So we're actually prohibit the sale of marijuana.
I move to approve ordinance 1924 and amendments to the municipal code and local coastal programs to prohibit all commercial cannabis activity in the city.
I second the motion.
I will now call for a vote on the motion.
Wait, what? We weren't persistent enough? They don't care about my grandma? Oh, come on.
The votes have been passed. The motion has been approved by a vote of 4-1.
Moving on.
So that one's done? We're in the cut.
Moving on to our second issue of discussion this evening. Does any member of the public wish to address the City Council on the issue of allowing limited indoor growing in the city?
Citizen Kelly.
Hello, my name is Madeline Kelly. I believe that the limited indoor growing of cannabis should be allowed. In Griswold versus Connecticut, the United States Supreme Court recognized that the right to privacy is protected by the 14th Amendment. While this case concerned marital privacy, I believe the same rationale should be used. The ability to grow cannabis is a private right that should not be regulated by the government, and if it is grown on someone's private property for their own private use, it should be protected under their right to privacy.
Citizen Kim.
Hello, my name is Kim, and I am against the growth of cannabis in local residences. It has been a study that has found that 3% of California's total electricity usage goes to powering indoor weed cultivation. Also, the growth lights used reach extremely high temperatures, and this can lead ultimately to mass fires. Also, not only does it affect us electronically, it also affects us through crime rates and social activity. And ultimately, cannabis cultivation is negative to the community of Manhattan Beach.
Citizen Kohler.
Hello, my name is Lily Kohler, and I'm a citizen of Manhattan Beach, and I'm in favor of the ability for citizens to grow weed on their own private property. So essentially, what we're looking at is for the city of Manhattan Beach to be in compliance with California law, which states that 6 plants may be grown at a time, and there will be regulations, seeing as legislation has already been passed, such as the Adult Use of Marijuana Act passed in 2016. We can't simply turn our backs on an issue that we don't think affects our community. If we essentially allow for marijuana to continue to be sold, because as we can see clearly from our marching bands and from our fundraisers, weed is still prevalent in Manhattan Beach. We can't turn our backs on this issue and pretend it doesn't happen. So if we are in favor of the ability to grow cannabis, we can at least regulate it.
Citizen Diddler.
Hi, I'm Alex Midler, and I'm against this ordinance. I believe that growing cannabis in your own home affects not only those who choose to grow it, but also the community as a whole. I think it'd be a different situation if you were living in a rural area, but in Manhattan Beach with houses so close together, if one person chooses to grow cannabis in their own home, it also affects all of their neighbors. And so their neighbors will also be affected by the odor, the mold, and the other effects, like the fact that it's a fire hazard and uses so much electricity. Thank you.
Citizen Mofet.
Hi, I'm Ava Moffett, and I've lived in Manhattan Beach for 15 years. and I'm in favor of passing the ordinance to allow a limited use of indoor cannabis due to the fact that I think it can be of benefit to ill patients because they might not have the energy to go and buy their own cannabis, so I think it's convenient for them to be able to grow it. However, I would like to emphasize the limited part of it, because if we don't limit the amount of people who can grow it, then this can turn into kind of a business for certain people, and they can have the ability to sell their cannabis they've grown to minors, which can create an even bigger problem than there already is. Thank you.
Citizen Newman.
Hi, I'm Marissa. So I am against the allowing of homegrown marijuana, but I'm for commercial use. I think that it'll be hard to regulate if the homegrown marijuana is going to be still sold illegally, or if it will be used for their own consumption. So I'd rather that it's used commercially, that way the government would be able to get taxes from it instead of leaving it up to the people. And I think that it would also waste government time and resources with issuing permits and trying to regulate what's going on inside people's private houses, when these time, resources, and money should be going towards other things. And I also think that it's been shown that greater densities of weed dispensaries is related to higher rates of violent crimes in areas adjacent to it. So I prefer that this is not going on in my backyard, where I could also become victim to something that I'm not for. Thank you.
Citizen Peters.